Good morning. Blue Bottle Bunny Farm, good morning. 6400 was good. Hit that like button when you come up in here. Hit the like button. Or the down button, it doesn't matter. Come on, keep going, baby.
And this other one that is for like this side is the leg. It's kind of like
Dude sound like Darth Vader up there. Fucking hand itching. Yo, did you catch the Trump's platinum plan? 500 billion for minority. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah, that's big news. That's big news. Good morning. That's big news in the world. Trump's platinum plan. Yep, I'm very familiar. Cap or no? It's probably, politics ain't nothing but cap anyway. That's the biggest cap in the world. If I'm familiar, this cap thing is new to me, but to me it sounds like like you just playing the dozens, or not playing the dozens, but you just doing shit to make yourself look good, I guess. I don't know. A front. Politics in general is a front. So everything a politician does is for another purpose other than what they're presenting, in my mind. But anyway, good morning, folkers. Good afternoon. Good evening, wherever you're in the world. This is Snapzilla Gorilla. Welcome to the definition of anarchy, where we talk about real shit and get different perspectives on the shit going on in the world. A deeper look. Top of the morning. Brooklyn top 3 was good. How y'all doing this morning? Good morning. No, neon. No, that's far enough. My bad. I'm up here at the stairs. I gotta get down, you know what I mean? Getting my ruck on with my 45 pounds and 5 more pounds of other equipment on me. Jesus. Hanging just doing schooling. That's what's up. Nothing wrong with it. I'm up here with my daughter this morning. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Hold on. Slow down. Just up here with my daughter. Decided to bring her with me so she can get her get her walk on. She's not wearing a pack, but it's all good. How y'all doing this morning? Did you guys get my notification, or y'all just happen to palm a video? It's hard to tell nowadays whether or not they're sending my notifications out. Great. That's good. What are you going to school for? So, have you guys heard about what's going on in Nigeria, or what happened in Nigeria very recently? Cybersecurity, bachelor's of science degree. Oh, that's what's up. Go ahead, baby. That's what's up. I don't know if y'all familiar, but in the United States is not the only place where we're having a problem with police brutality and police terrorism. It's going on all over the world, where people allow the police to have so much power. If you give man the power, they will abuse it. All right? Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Come on, baby. You getting tired? Huh? Oh, poor baby. And it's no different in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, what happened in Nigeria could be seen as a cautionary tale for those of us who recognize there's a problem with police terrorism here in the US. Yo, we need militias similar to NFAC, but you feel like the leadership should be based on state chapter leaders instead of one leader. Well, yeah. Not only that, leaders need to be chosen. Come on, ER. Go. True leaders are chosen. They're not self-proclaimed or self-assigned. You know, remember I said stay on the right? Yes, this definitely should be that whole one leader thing. That's called totalitarianism. And it makes no sense to have one ruling class over so many people, or one person ruling over so many people. As a matter of fact, no one has the legitimate authority to rule over another person. For real, Near? We ain't even, we barely started our first lap. My daughter's already pooped out. What is that? I'm in LA. Come over here. Specifically, Cold City right now.
Oh, shit.
But Houston, Oh, the question was slim, it's all good. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, take a sip. These kids. Rodney Morrison was good. I'm about to get into what happened in Nigeria. Apparently a lot of people don't know about it, but there's a lesson to be learned with what happened out there. And we're gonna go over that. I remembered to bring my vest today. So now I feel better. I feel better with my equipment on. All right, go ahead, baby. My daughter's already pooped out. And she ain't carrying nothing. So, I have an article to go over in regards to what happened in Nigeria. If you guys aren't familiar, this should piss everybody off, right? What happened in Nigeria should send. Hold on, girl. What happened in Nigeria should send shockwaves throughout the entire world. But no one's really talking about it. You know, not enough. Gotta put on my gloves. No one's talking about this enough. So, and if people are aware of it, they're not really speaking up on it. But there's a lesson to be learned from what happened in Nigeria. So, instead of me just telling you, right, I have an article to go over. Niara. Hey, bro, you're a great motivation to people, bro. I always see the 3%er type rucking, bro, you put on your community. Yeah. You know, rucking is a good way. All right. Rucking is a good way to do cardio, you know. Rucking is a good way to put on cardio. It's good for building leg strength. You can add more weight. You can take a weight away. You can do different exercises with your ruck on. There's a lot you can do when rucking. But hold on, I'm about to get into this article real quick so we can build a lesson from this. And what happened to them, don't think it won't happen to us if we don't have certain tools in place. Here, tyrannical government in Nigeria using the tyrannical police force to enforce their tyranny. Go ahead, go to the top. So, here we go. Now this is from the New York Times. I'll post the link in the description when this video renders. I still got to post links in my last live. I'll be forgetting. But it'll get done. So, this is from New York Times. A dozen protesters in Nigeria reported killed by security forces. Yep. A dozen protesters, all right? A dozen protesters in Nigeria killed by security forces. All right, a dozen killed, many dozen injured, many dozen shot, but a dozen killed so far. You know, of course, you got to give them more time to find out if people die in the hospital from their wounds or they succumb to a gunshot wound, right? So, a dozen dead. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it's more. It's just a dozen that they know were killed on scene. Go ahead, baby. I don't want you in the frame. So, we can go with this. Nigerians are stunned after police and soldiers, not terrorists, well, the terrorists, but under a different name. These are just terrorists under a different name. Don't get it twisted. Nigerians are stunned after police and soldiers opened fire on protesters against police brutality. The largely peaceful demonstrations have grown into a challenge for the government. And the last thing you want to do, right, is challenge the government. You don't, nor does it like competition. Come here. Hold on, baby. The government does not like challenge. Hold this. On my back, interesting how I get closer to the cell phone tower, and my shit starts buffering, right? Anyway. So I was considering moving to Lagos, Nigeria, but couldn't convince the wife. Oh no, you don't want to do that. I'm not going anywhere where my right to keep and bear arms aren't even halfway protected, right? Let's see. That's why there's a Second Amendment. Let me see that, baby. All right, go ahead. We're about to do 6 of these, baby. So, you tell me. Lagos, Nigeria, with music playing, and look how this started out. This was a peaceful protest. All right, Lagos, Nigeria, with music playing and food being passed around, a festive atmosphere hung over the protest encampment on Tuesday night. All right, that's the night before last. Despite the anger over the police brutality that in recent weeks have driven youthful demonstrations that were the biggest Nigeria had seen in a generation. As darkness fell, Nigerian flags were handed out among thousands of people gathered there. Philip Agu, a sound engineer who had volunteered to run the huge speaker system, said the protest leader took the microphone and told the crowd that the police would likely arrive soon, but that if they sat down, see that? If they sat their ass down, saying the national anthem, sat down saying the national anthem and waved their flags, they would face no danger. All right, that was the assumption. All right, and what does it do to assume? What are you doing when you assume? You're making an ass out of you and me. The speaker told the crowd Mr. Agu recalled that all around the world, no soldier can shoot any citizen holding their own national flag. Is that right? Jesus. No, not holding a national flag, holding something else. But they weren't holding that something else. They were holding national flags. 3 hours later, dozens of people were hit 3 hours after that during a peaceful demonstration with Nigerians holding flags and singing the national anthem. 3 hours later, dozens of people were hit by gunfire from security forces, some fatally. And the images of bloodied protesters and their bloodied flags. The irony, right? Oh, our own security force and our own soldiers and cops, they won't shoot us if we hold our flags and we're peaceful. No. They got shot. 3 hours later, dozens were shot. And strewn on the ground were bloodied flags, all right? And social media accounts of millions of Nigerians. Survivors recalled a sudden shift from sitting peacefully to fleeing in panic. Some said military and police units surrounded the demonstrators. What? Surrounded the demonstrators, all right, in the affluent suburb of Lekki, preventing them from leaving. So they were trapped. They were surrounded by these thugs, by these badged uniform thugs that they call police officers and soldiers. And then they were shot. Dozens were hit. I thought I was going to die. Keep going, baby. What are you doing? I thought I was going to die, said Kolade.
Just doing well.
Thank you. Abiola Ahmed, his voice still quaking a day later. Soldiers and police officers opened fire on unarmed youths. What's the key word there? Unarmed. All right, Neil, go around. Unarmed youths. All right. Unarmed. Unarmed youths in the upscale neighborhood. Not even in an impoverished neighborhood. In an upscale neighborhood. All right, Niar, over to the right. In an upscale neighborhood. All right, baby, that's enough. In an upscale neighborhood, don't drink too fast, okay? In an upscale neighborhood, right? Shock the nation. No, Niar, over here. In an upscale neighborhood, shocked the nation. Even older citizens who recalled growing up under a series of military dictatorships. The protest over police brutality in the past 2 weeks had been larger and even more widespread than the last round of major demonstrations in 2012, after the government stopped subsidizing fuel. But they had remained largely peaceful. Nigeria's security forces had long been criticized for human rights abuses, particularly in the impoverished northeastern region, but there was a different set of victims this time. Many demonstrators have been middle-class, well-educated young people in the southern and central cities, better off than earlier generations, and too young to remember military rule that ended in 1999. Their movement, like Black Lives Matter in the United States, have been youth-driven, mostly leaderless, and propelled by social media, a nimble, amorphous force that has been hard to quell. What do y'all got to say? For Black and Righteous Folks Home, what's good, man? Makes our boots, yeah, look like pets. But there's Warrior Lord, what's good, man? Been a minute. Do you see anything about protesters getting targeted for having iPhones? No, I didn't see anything about that. Wonder why nobody never talked about SARS, knowing it was happening, trying to make us feel bad about our police brutality. Well, you know what? Police brutality in any form is no good. All right? We shouldn't accept police brutality in any form. We shouldn't accept a qualified immunity for police officers. We shouldn't allow any of that. We're like, come on, y'all. But there's a reason it got worse in Nigeria. There's one simple reason. Don't think that this can't happen to us. But certain things have to be put in place before it could happen to us in that manner. Right now, they're working on it. Trust me. They're working on being able to do what they did in Nigeria. They want to do it. They want to make examples of people who buck the system. But they can't right now. They have 350 million reasons why they can't. All right, and that's the only thing stopping them. Don't get it twisted. All right? All right, baby, let's keep going. Oh, God damn it. Let's go. On Tuesday, go ahead. On Tuesday, the security force killed at least 12 people at demonstrations in the Lagos area, including 10 at Lekki, Amnesty International report on Wednesday. These shootings clearly amount to extrajudicial executions. Is that what they want to call it? How about terrorism? Terroristic murder. There must be immediate investigation, and suspected perpetrators must be held accountable through fair trials. We know who's accountable. The Nigerian government that likely gave the order to do this. The government did not give casualty figures, but a police officer under Lagos State Command Area Alpha Headquarters, who was at the scene of the killings, told New York Times on Wednesday that at least 11 people had been killed. On Wednesday, some of the protesters were out in the street again, violating a 24-hour curfew imposed that day before, and newly aware they could be risking their lives. You see that? Despite 11 of their people getting murdered by police terrorists and dozens shot, they still violated the curfew and knowing their lives would be risked. Come on. Knowing their lives, stand over there, knowing their lives could be in danger, they still decided to demonstrate. Because they know when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. Plumes of smoke rose from at least 3 buildings, including one that houses TVC News, which stopped broadcasting. Sporadic gunshots could be heard around Lekki and Yaba, districts 20 miles apart, separated by a lagoon. All right, calling themselves Soro Soka, or Speak Up Generation in the Yoruba language, widely spoken in Lagos, the nation's largest city. The protesters have insisted that a notorious police unit, the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, be disbanded and its most brutal officers prosecuted. The unit, known as SARS, as Rodney mentioned earlier, I think Rodney said it, has earned a reputation for abusing, torturing, and doing something else. That got cut off. The demonstrators have generally been from, wait a minute, what? Okay, here we go. The protest began after widely seen and shared video appeared to show SARS officers killing a man unprovoked. Officials said the video was fake and arrested the person who made it, making people still angrier. Calls for action spread rapidly in social media with the hashtag #EndSARS, and celebrities in Nigeria and abroad, including Beyonce, Justin Bieber, added their voices to demands. But what else are they gonna do? Are they gonna, we'll talk about what else they can do if they were really about that life. Demonstrations grew in several cities. Millions of people watched them unfold live online, and the grievances expanded to include chronic corruption and lack of accountability. Does that sound motherfucking familiar or what? Does that not sound familiar? President Muhammadu Buhari, a former army general who led the military government in 1980s, vowed last week to disband SARS, but there was no word on prosecutions, and government officials indicated that the officers would simply be moved to other units, not dismissed. Protesters denounced the changes as window dressing, which is exactly what it is. I think I said enough on that. I think I read enough. Hold on. On Tuesday, reports of police killing people, followed by the burning of a police station, prompted the governor of Lagos State to declare a 24-hour curfew. Fuck his curfew. He said people bent on chaos had hijacked the peaceful protest. Well, you know, you have those. You have those agent provocateurs. I've talked about those before. I've talked about those people. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Many protesters contend that the government had used paid provocateurs to sow violence as an excuse for a brutal crackdown. Best believe it. Out here, they call it COINTELPRO. All right, that's what they call it out here. But let's just call it what it is. It's they're agent provocateurs. But that, I think I said enough on that right now. I think we get the gist of it. Come on, baby, let's go. Let's keep moving. Let's keep it moving. All right. I'm sorry for righteous black folks home. I knew you were a woman. I forgot. Come on. It's been so long since I seen you in my chat. Yes, Nigerian cops are far worse. Why are they far worse? Let's get into that. Let's get into the only reason Nigerian cops are far worse than cops in the United States. It's not because the cops in the United States are necessarily better people. Pooh Bear, false flag. What's a false flag? What's a false flag? I don't think so. I've never seen the country as divided as it is today. I personally believe that the shit that hit the fan is going to happen shortly after the election. There ain't no false flag. Pooh Bear. That shit really happened. There's video and pictures. See, you don't get that level of that type of showing with false flags in America. False flags in America, you lucky to see a drop of blood. No, it's real. Dang, Tecate tester of Tecate dies. Hold on. Well, plenty. I don't want to take crack scene, I hope. Liberty and freedom, Nigeria really don't have perhaps. Well, you know what? There's 350 million differences between the United States and Nigeria. 350 million differences. You don't know what those are? Exactly. No such thing as a blood revolution. But when blood is only spilt on one side, that's not a revolution. That's a slaughter. All right? Countries creating problems, react to it. It doesn't mean fate. It's not a false flag. The government openly and deliberately opened fire on citizens. Kind of like what happened with the UN in Haiti. Y'all remember that? They just started blasting people in the streets in Haiti. You didn't hear two words about it. So what's the difference? What are those 350 million differences between us and Nigeria? What makes up the difference? What is the reason? What are the 350 million reasons that cops just don't open fire on us in the streets? That's right, 350 million guns. 350 million firearms, I'll say. Come on, baby, go. Because a rifle's not a gun, we all know that, right? This is my rifle, this is my gun, this is for shooting, and this is for fun, y'all know. 350 million firearms is what keeps what the Nigerian cops did to those innocent Nigerian people. That's what keeps our cops from doing that to us. No, they have to do it one person at a time, and the qualified immunity gets them off. And we demonstrate, and we protest, and we riot. But they won't fire on large crowds like that because they know they can't. Everybody would be against it. So now, right now they have support from the right? The Republicans support the police 100% no matter what they do. But if they open fire on a crowd of unarmed people holding American flags, unarmed people holding American flags, right? If our cops fired on dozens of people like that, unarmed, holding American flags, even the people on the right, they would not be able to stand for it. They would have to take up arms. So it's not even really about, okay, the people in the crowd should have been armed. Not necessarily. They should be. Everybody should be armed everywhere they go. You know why? Because firearms exist in the world, and people carry firearms. So if there is a firearm that exists in the world, I want to be able to have that. Period. Because guess what? Someone can use that same firearm against me. Come on, baby, let's go. Period. So whatever firearm exists, whatever weapon exists that I can use as a weapon against someone who might use that weapon against me, I want that. Come on. I know. Take a sip of water. We ain't even did 3 laps yet. My baby already, she ready to pass out. But think about it. If that happened out here, oh, they know what would happen. And that's why they're working so hard to take our right to keep and bear arms away. They want to snatch it right from under us, so that when we buck the system, all they have to do is slaughter a few dozen people to keep us in line. But as you can see, that's not what happened in Nigeria. They kept coming out. Come on, let's go. Keep going. They kept coming out. They kept showing up. They kept breaking curfew. So they wanted to make an example out of peaceful protesters holding flags. And they use agent provocateurs, as is customary, to make them look bad, so that when they do slaughter them, there's not so much sympathy for them. But you can't do that this time. We have guns, but they have shit on a whole other level. I don't give a hot damn. Rodney Morrison, I don't give a hot damn. I don't care what they got. You understand? You see that you know Joe Biden tried to say that same shit, right? You're gonna need a lot more than AR-15. Joe Biden said the same shit. I don't give a hot damn. The question, if that's the case, then we should be working to get access to that same type of shit. Instead of saying, oh, we shouldn't do nothing because they got better shit. No, fuck that. Come on, baby. How do we get better shit? How do we get access to better shit? That's what my mentality is. How do we win the hearts and minds of our military brethren to bring them over to our side? That's what I'm thinking about. How can we work to get access to some of that? How do we show our military brothers and sisters, right? Veterans, much like myself, how do we show them that they might have to do what they got to do and what's better for the people? So I don't care what they got. I don't care if they got a freaking earthquake machine under my house that can swallow my household. I don't give a hot damn. I'ma still, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? People with 350 million firearms, you know, that's gonna trump whatever munitions or arms the military has. Excuse me, go ahead. You know why? Because the soldiers would hesitate to pull that trigger on us, right? Not the cops. The cops will pull the trigger. The cops will they're not like Nigerian soldiers, right? I was in the military. They don't brainwash us to hate our own people in the open. They don't train us for that. We're trained to fight the foreign enemies, right? That's what we're trained to do. See, when you have military governments in other countries, they're trained to keep the people in line. So they already have that mentality, going through training, going through drills, come on, baby, come on, pick it up. You're going down. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not trained. That's not what we're trained to do. Now you'll have some that'll comply, right, with the brass. You have some, but you have a lot of the rank and file would definitely hesitate to pull that trigger. Like, even if they have Predator drones, you think you think a guy from Oklahoma is going to drop a Predator drone on Oklahoma just like that? No, they won't. Some will, because some people are nut baskets, and they'll believe anything the government tells them, and they won't hesitate. But you know, for the most part, we don't roll like that, right? We don't roll like that just to start gunning down unarmed people. We won't do that. Like, hell, we don't even do that to foreign people. When we go overseas, right? There are rules of engagements. We don't just open fire on unarmed people, even from other countries. We don't do that. That's not in our, that's not how we get down. You understand? We don't even do that. We have rules of engagement. We damn sure wouldn't be able to open fire on foreign civilians who were holding flags. Like, no. So we damn sure can't do it over here. Believe that. I thought soldiers were trained. They're trained to take lawful orders. Lawful orders. They're trained to disobey unlawful orders. Some idiots will obey unlawful orders. So if you know the rules of engagement, you got to use some sense, right? They're trained to take orders, but you have to have sense. If you know the rules of engagement says that you're not to open fire on unarmed civilians, right? It's part of the Geneva Convention, right? We understand what the Geneva Convention is. We understand what the rules of engagement are. Though the Nigerian forces violated the Geneva Convention, they committed a war crime. They had their own soldiers open fire on innocent people. Well, yes, we're trying to take orders, but not unlawful orders. It's an unlawful order. If they tell you to open fire on a group of unarmed people, that is an unlawful order that you are obligated to disobey. You're obligated to. And if you have to, you can relieve whoever gave you that command of their duty. You can relieve them and someone else will take over. There are protocols and shit in place to take care of that. You can't just do it because somebody gave you the order to. It has to be a lawful order. You got to use your sense. You got to use your common sense. If they tell you open fire on those group of American civilian protesters, you can be like, what? But they're not doing anything. They're not opening fire. They're not threatening anybody. They're standing there waving flags and singing. You can resist that order. You can relieve that motherfucker of his command, and someone else with some sense will take over command. Come on, baby, let's go. You understand? So no, you don't just follow orders. No, that's not how it works. Lawful orders. And you deal with the repercussions later. Like if, you might get your shit handed to you for relieving an officer of his command by someone who's corrupt up the ladder. But at that point in time, you handle your business. No. So, and there's a lesson to be learned from this situation. But old butthead, what? Pooh Bear, I was in the Navy, but we do not take all. Yeah, no, we don't. That's not how it works. But old head took care of all of them. Old butthead, they going now. That's funny. All right, let's go, baby. You've always been skeptical of servicemen? Come on. Let's roll. Oh, poor baby. You tie well. You tie red? My baby tie red. That's why I told you to get some good sleep last night. He relived all those caring about orders of duty. I have to run, but blessed day, bro. You too, man. You too, young lady. For Black righteous folks home. Yeah, got my baby with me. and she about to pass out. See, I don't get them out here enough. That's my bad. If I did, she'd be kicking my butt right now. It's important to get your kids in shape. It's important to have your kids be active. Yo, bro. I will get to it. Slim 6400. I'll get to the loadout video of my bug out. My shit hit the fan loadout. I'll get to it. I have a room where I have all that stuff. I just have to get everything into that room. And I got more stuff on the way. So I got more stuff coming that I need to put in that room and have ready to go. So once I get the rest of my stuff, I'll take you guys into my room and I'll show y'all what's up. Over here, baby. Yeah. So if the people of Nigeria, because I looked it up, all right? I looked up the gun laws in Nigeria. I looked it up. Are you on a preparedness tip? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'm on a preparedness tip. No doubt. I can't have knowledge of half the shit I have knowledge about and not be on the preparedness list. Do you see the Biden say 8-year-olds should be able to have sex changes? Yeah, he's wilding. Joe Biden is sick. He's a sick puppy. The problem is too many people are brainwashed and most stuff goes over their heads. Well, yeah, that's true. But some things people can't avoid. Some things people can't hide from, like being told to open fire on innocent people holding flags. All right. So I looked up the gun laws in Nigeria, right? They can only have shotguns. They can't have pistols. They can't have revolvers. They can't have rifles in Nigeria. Well, they can have those little safari rifles if you're out in the safari. But if you're a regular citizen, you can't have anything but a shotgun. That's it. And that's an insult. So this is why they're able to pull shit like this off. This is why Boko Haram, right? I don't know if y'all remember that. Back in 2008, Boko Haram, I think it was 2008 or 2012 or somewhere around there. I think it was 2012. Boko Haram went to a Nigerian university and killed 2,000 people in one day. Or something like 2,000 people over a short period of time. Because the citizens, they don't have the means to protect themselves. You can't rely on the government to do it. You think the government's gonna run up in there and help them? Hell no. All right, baby, let's keep going. What's wrong with you? Nothing but you're tired, that's it? Yes. You think they can do that here? You think that somebody like a group like Boko Haram can run up in a university in the United States, even in a liberal city or a liberal state like California, run up into a university and start slaughtering people indiscriminately and get away with it? Hell no. Sure, they might not have firearms on the university at that point in time. Well, you know what? Let me rethink that. Maybe in California. They might be able to do it in California because, you know, they have to go to the car get it out of the gun safe, get the ammunition out the front of the seat, and then, yeah, they might be able to get away with it in a state like California. But could you imagine them doing shit like that in Texas? No. This is why it's important. This is why our rights to keep and bear arms are important. That's why. Not so we can go hunting. You know what I'm saying? They want to make it seem like, oh, you don't need an AR-15 to hunt. That's not why I want an AR-15. That's not why the Second Amendment is in place. It's not for hunting deer. It's for the security of a free state. The security of a free state. And what is a state? Well, I think it means state of being, right? Whatever state you're in, you have to secure your state. And in order to do so, you need that right to keep and bear arms. They don't have that in Nigeria. This is why this is possible. They didn't have that in Haiti, which is why the UN opened fire on Haitian streets. You understand? So we can look at this as a cautionary tale. And you know what? This story needs to be shared far and wide so that people can understand what your government is capable of if they have you in such a weakened position that the only thing you have to show that you have an issue with your government is a fucking flag. Yeah. Whatever your reason for having an AR, that's your business. It ain't my business. It ain't the government's business. It ain't nobody's business until you turn that firearm on another human being that didn't deserve it. You understand? You know what I'm saying? So, whether it be for feral pigs, feral hogs, hunting, whatever you want your AR for, 3-gun competitions, that's your business. It ain't the government business. So if anybody asks you, yo, why you need an AR-15? Why you need that? You say, because I'm grown and it's none of your business. Why I need it? Maybe I don't need it. Maybe I just want it. It doesn't matter. 1113 was good. Oh yeah. And that's nonsense, man. Go ahead. Can you have a shotgun in the UK? Imagine if they did that in the UK. See, nothing's to stop them from doing the same shit in the UK that they just did in Nigeria. Rwandan government have gun rights to the people and they reject it because they're stupid. Yo, if they say here, even though it's not for them to give you your rights, right? These are natural born rights. These are God-given rights. Not the right to keep and bear arms per se, but the right to use whatever means necessary to defend your life, property, and posterity. And that could be anything. A rock, a bow and arrow, a shotgun, a tow missile, a claymore mine, a dragon, a fucking, a predator drone. If you can afford a predator drone, you can equip a predator drone and use it responsibly. That's really what your right is. Your right is by whatever means you deem necessary to defend your life, property, family, and posterity. Doesn't matter what it is. No. Organized guns bring respect. Well, you know what they say? An armed society is a polite society. Real shit. And there's no realer realer thing than that. It don't get no realer than that. A armed society or an armed society is a polite society. You can have shotguns, but you have to have guarantors vouch for you and no violence on. Oh, that's such bullshit. Like, who they think they are? See, who these people think they are to dictate how you are able to get something like that? They have no right to come up with rules and conditions for you to keep your rights. And it's bullshit. That's that bullshit. But yeah, in Nigeria you can have shotguns, but you know they ain't afraid of people with shotguns. All they got to do is keep themselves at a distance. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even sure if they can have slugs. So if you have a shotgun with no slugs, you're really no threat to the military or the government. Come on, baby. You having fun yet? No? Get used to it. We're gonna have to do this more often. So 11:13 and y'all got here a little late, but if y'all don't understand, you know what happened. Determination is my name. In Nigeria, a couple nights ago, the security forces for Nigeria opened fire on unarmed demonstrators in Lekki in Nigeria. It's like an affluent neighborhood, and they shot dozens of people and killed at least 12 people in Nigeria, unarmed, and they were holding flags. You know what I'm saying? All they were doing, waving flags and singing. And the security forces made up of police and military just opened fire on these people. Just opened fire on them. So that's what happened in Nigeria. Yeah, Marcy T. This happened a couple days ago. Come on, baby. This happened a couple days ago in Nigeria. At least 12 killed, dozens shot for protesting police brutality because the SARS unit in Nigeria, which is a police unit, killed an unarmed individual on camera, and nothing happened to them, much like what goes on in the United States. So, and I was telling everybody, there are 350 million differences between the U.S. and Nigeria, and those are 350 million firearms of all types. That is what's stopping this very thing from happening right here in the United States. Believe you me, I can say that in my heart and in my mind with 100% certainty. The only thing stopping our military, well, not even our military, our militarized police forces from doing the same thing to us is our right to keep and bear arms and all the weapons we have. Otherwise, we'll be just like the people in Nigeria who don't have that ability. They don't have the access to arms that we do. So yeah, when you completely give yourself over to the rulers, this is what they can do to you if you buck the system. And that's exactly what happened to those poor Nigerians. They were slaughtered for waving flags, Nigerian flags. So imagine that. You're in the US demonstrating, you're holding up American flags, and go ahead, baby. And your police just open fire on you. And you're just holding flags. That's all they were doing in Nigeria. So when I tell people that I'm for 100% our rights to keep and bear arms, When I tell people that, it's not just because I'm just some trigger happy veteran. No, it's because I know what can happen. I know from experience what can happen in a country where you have a dictatorship that rules over you with an iron fist and you have no means to defend yourself. You have no means to stand up. And who said it earlier? I think somebody said earlier in the chat, oh, well, they have way more than we got. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They don't want to go up against what we got with what they have. Joe Biden said the same stupid shit. We don't need to have the jets and B-2 bombers, and we don't have to have that. We don't have to have that. No, because it ain't gonna matter. Come on, baby. You understand? We don't need to have that. You understand? And we need to secure that. And if we don't have it, we should secure our access to it. That's the only way we can keep our government in check. Y'all know that, right? And another reason for the Second Amendment is to keep our government in check. We are supposed to keep our government in check, not the other way around. All right? Our government and the politicians are supposed to represent us, and they work for us. We pay taxes for them we pay taxes for their salary. We're supposed to check them. Every branch, right? There's checks and balances within the branches of government, yeah, right? You got the legislative branch, you got the judicial branch, you got the executive branch. They're all supposed to check and balance each other, but guess what? We're supposed to check all them motherfuckers. We're supposed to check the government, every branch. And that's one reason the Second Amendment is in place, to keep our government in check. We shouldn't feel bad for saying that. That's how it's supposed to be, because we gave them that. When the Federalists came out with the Constitution and tried to centralize the government, you had the Anti-Federalists that didn't want that. They wanted to keep the state powers to the states separately, right? And one thing that stopped them was that there were no Bill of Rights. There were no Bill of Rights for the people to keep the government in check. So the Federalists, they gave in and said, okay, we'll give you your Bill of Rights, because every state had a Bill of Rights before the Constitution came about, before the federal government came online. Every state had a Constitution, every state had a Bill of Rights for the people. And they said, we're not doing it, especially if there's no Bill of Rights. Well, guess what? We have a Bill of Rights and it still don't mean shit, because we ceded too much power over to the government. We don't check them enough. We're supposed to check the government. That's the whole point behind the Constitution. That's the whole point behind the Bill of Rights. Xander, what's up? Well, yeah, they trying to kill everybody, yeah. I'll get to that 1113. I'll get to the AstraZeneca death. I'll get to that. Yeah, fuck it. See, they trying to kill us. I believe that. More than military, damn. As they say, there's a gun behind every blade of grass and yeah, that's what the Japanese government said. That's what the Japanese general said. The Japanese general, who did not want to bomb Pearl Harbor, right, but was forced to by the president or whoever the fuck was in charge. He didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? He didn't want to have a ground invasion against the United States, because he said behind every blade of grass is a civilian with a firearm. That's what stopped the Japanese from invading us in World War II. Behind every blade of grass is a civilian with a firearm. So what else needs to be explained? Never give up the right to keep and bear arms. Exactly. All right, baby, keep going. Come on, let's go. They'll die before they give us reparations. They won't give us true reparations. They'll only frame it as such. I say land and no more taxes. Yeah, I agree. No, Niara, this way. Yeah, no, I agree. Come on, youngster. Come on, youngster. You acting like an old lady. Go ahead. How about I give you my 50 pounds and see how you do? Go ahead, baby. My baby's out of shape. I've been slipping. Come on, come on. So, yeah, I agree. Best believe they're paying attention to Nigeria and taking notes too, of course. And they're salivating at the idea of taking our firearms away and being able to do the same thing. They're salivating. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to pass the TAPS Act. I can't wait to pass every gun control measure so that we can, you know what they're doing, right? They're trying, see, the definition of assault weapon is so broad that they want to include pistols, right? Pistols where you can change the magazine with a push of a button. They want to get rid of that too, and their assault weapons bans. So they're going to whittle us down to revolvers and shotguns, and eventually they'll try to take the revolvers away, and then we'll have shotguns. And then they'll be able to slaughter us during demonstrations in the same way they did to the Nigerian people. Don't get it twisted. Don't think that these people give two shits about you. All right? And we all know police officers are order followers. I believe, now this isn't a fact, but it's my belief, hello, that, over here, it's my belief that police officers are 90% psycho. That's what I think. They're psycho, or they're indifferent to the psycho shit going on in the police departments. You know, if they're not bad cops, they're indifferent cops who allow the bad shit to keep going. They just turn a blind eye to it. You're just as bad or worse than a bad cop. Let me see. They told us millions never happened to this day. Yeah, of course it's a carrot. Yeah. Well, you know, civil asset forfeiture, all that shit, that's a violation of the 4th Amendment. They're already violating the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 10th Amendments. Like, they're already doing it. So that's what I'm saying. What good did the Bill of Rights do if you're just going to cast it aside to suit your agenda, right? Oh, well, it's because the legislators brought the bill forward, and the president in the executive branch, he signed off on it, and then when we took it to court, the judges said it's okay. No, come on, baby. So if you look at the First Amendment and the Second Amendment, there are two key phrases in those amendments. One is, there shall be no law. There shall be no law. So what did they do? Well, they said, oh, if you yell fire in a movie theater, that's prosecutable, right? Or if you yell fire in an airport, same shit. Well, you might think that might cause chaos. You might think so, but it's still your right. That's still your right to free speech. But because they made laws against it, they have made a law against your right to free speech. And it said there shall be no law. Just like the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment says the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. But there are 20,000 gun control laws on the books in this country. So what does that mean? That means that there are 20,000 infringements against the Second Amendment. So what good did the Bill of Rights do? The checks and balances that are supposed to be in place to make that not happen didn't work, right? The executive branch didn't check the legislative branch, right? And the judicial branch didn't check the executive branch when people sued the government for creating the laws. So who's left to do the checking? We are. We have to check our government. All right? We have to check them. Otherwise, we'll end up like those people in Nigeria. And let me ask you something. Are those people in Nigeria any different than us? Do they not possess the same amount of rights? The same rights as us? Or does it change because the geographical location changed? No. They are still human beings who are deserving of every right we deserve. That's why we should look at what happened in Nigeria as an example of why we need things in place to check our government, which includes the 350 million firearms we have in this country. That's what's where we actually do check our government to a degree because we still have those firearms. We were able to accumulate them over a couple hundred years. Boom. So yeah, it's keeping our government in check to a degree, but slowly but surely, they are taking and eroding that away. And you still got dummies that think they are fucking with Constitution. This virus should have showed that, yeah. They're like, what? I don't get it. They shit on the Constitution every chance they get. Every chance they get, they shit Constitution. And what about U.S. Code, 18 U.S. Code 242? 18 U.S. Code 242 dictates that every goddamn police officer, every goddamn politician that has passed a law that has stripped our rights away, and every police officer that has enforced that law, and every judge that has interpreted that law as constitutional, they all should be in prison right now. But as you can see, they shit on 18 U.S. Code 242 as well, and 18 U.S. Code 241. You understand? Come on, let's go to the top. So, you know, what does that tell you? The documents aren't checking the government, so who needs to check the government? If the documents aren't doing it, who needs to do it? Whoa. These U's hate us all equally. We Jacob, they are Esau. Yeah. It's not just the U's. It's not just the small hats. It's not just the small hats. Because they can't do it on their own. They have to get help from white people, black people. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody. That, you know, it's not, people just think it's, oh, it's just white people. No. There are black elites, Hispanic elites, Native American elites that have sold us down the river and continue to sell us down the river and will not hesitate to turn our ass in or execute us themselves. So we can't fall into that trap. We can't fall under the illusion that the small hats and the Europeans. No, it's not just them. Anybody who participates in the bullshit needs to be checked, needs to be taken care of swiftly. can sis exactly where the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God chosen people of the Bible, Israelites. Can you imagine if they tried to get us all in America? It would be too large a task, so they doing it city by city. Of course, we all slaves of the world are the real tribes. American tribes is Gad. Right, all colors, yeah. Come on, baby. So we did 4 so far, right? So we got 2 more. What do you think? Can you do it? You had a big old breakfast. You had waffles and eggs. Where's your energy at? Oh, shit. Next time we're going to have to do something a little less incliney. But work her way up to this. But she's good. She a beast. She's still doing it. But the white elites are on top. That's true. And above all the other, yeah. Yes, you're right. You're right. 90% of them are, yes. But they still have cronies and foot soldiers of all colors, and they need to be included when retribution is brought. It has to be brought to everybody. Just like every enemy is in white, right? Right? We're all enslaved. White, black, Hispanic. If you're not part of the elite class or the elite cabal, you are their enemy. So look,
Right?
this type of speech that I'm giving right now, this is what they're trying to come after with HR 1154. Y'all remember that? The attack on free speech, where if you talk this type of shit, and when you talk about elite cabals and this, that, and the third, and if you talk about the small hats, they're gonna come after you. If they pass that bill, see, that's how they do shit. They're using the Constitution against us, right? So that's what I'm saying. So, but now we know what's up. We need to check our government. We are supposed to check them, the people. It's up to the people to check them. And if we don't, whatever happens to us, hey, we had the opportunity when we had our 350 million firearms. If we allow them to take that away, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? So it's up to us. We still have the opportunity and the chance to turn things around. I got solutions. You understand? What is the solution? Well, you have to start. Come on, baby, get in front of me. We have to start, right? One thing we can do, we can start with decentralizing the government and giving each state their power back, right? Going back to the individual state powers. And I'm not talking about the governor. I'm not talking about giving power to the governor. I'm talking about giving power to the people of those states, right? You decentralize the government, take federal land back, right? Release it, have the federal government release all that land so that if people don't want to participate in the state's cultures and customs, then they can go off and do their own thing. That's how you start it. You start by decentralizing the U.S. government and going back to state powers. That's how you start. And then you go from there. You know, decentralize power from the state government and break it down to local jurisdictions, right? One jurisdiction does not have a say over another. A governor won't have a say over what this local is doing, what that local is doing, what this local is doing. You won't have a central government dictating what this state's doing, what that state's doing. And there's a peaceful way to do that. You can do that peacefully. But if you have to, hey, you know, hey, Hey. Who that said this? Jefferson, I think. The tree of liberty must be watered from time to time by the blood of patriots and tyrants, right? If it has to come to that. We don't have that mentality now. Now we have, but I don't want to lose my cable. I don't want my internet to go down. Oh my God. I'll have to fend for myself. I don't know how to do that. I need the government to take care of me. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? And see, that's what the biggest hurdle, the biggest obstacle that we're gonna run into. It's not really the government, it's the people who are so comfortable with the government dictating their lives. They don't know how to do anything else. So those people are gonna be the bigger obstacles, okay? They're gonna be the biggest problem. Then freedom don't mean shit to them. Yeah, exactly. They don't give a shit about freedom. Exactly. What time is it? So, you know, I do not vote no more there. I don't vote. I never voted. Never gonna happen? Pooh Bear, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Well, like I said, somebody said they'll die before they do that. I think it was 1113 or J Slick Twisted. Like I said, the tree of liberty every now and then must be watered by the blood of patriots and tyrants. Go ahead, baby. It ain't supposed to be easy.
Yes, sir.
Nope. Freedom ain't supposed to be easy. Nope. Nope. It ain't supposed to be easy. That's why it's freedom. Freedom ain't easy. And now without the Civil War, hey, you know, it is what it is. It wouldn't be a civil war. It would be a revolutionary war. They want you to think it's a civil. They want it to be a civil war so that the attention of that war can be focused on one group of proletariats against another group of proletariats. But no, we don't need that. It would need to be a revolutionary war. That's what it would need to be, not a civil war. Obama was the worst black president for black people in America. He did nothing for blacks. No president really does anything for anybody. They'll pander. They'll give the illusion that they're doing something for you, but at the same time, they're stripping your rights away. They're stripping your rights away. So while they're giving you the illusion that, oh, we're gonna make sure HBCUs stay funded for 10 years. Well, that comes with a price. What's the price? Well, the president of those HBCUs have to convince as many students as possible to participate in the crack scene trials for Tecate 19. There's always, nothing is free. Nothing is free. That funding for the HBCUs, that ain't free. Somebody gotta pay for it. Nothing the government gives you is free. It's always coming out of somebody's pocket. And it's yours and mine. It comes out of yours and my pocket. The money they extort from us, every paycheck. You understand? And if you make over a certain amount, it's even more. They'll take it on the back end at the end of the year. Oh, we didn't extort you for enough. Oh, you made $150 million, or you made $150,000. Oh, you in a different bracket. Oh, you in a different bracket. We got to get you for some more money. It's complete and utter nonsense. It's like the harder you work, the more hours you put in, the more productive you are in your day-to-day, the more they take from you. That's backwards as shit. That's backwards. There's a lot more I can do with my own money than they can do with it for myself. Oh, of course they run a race war. If they spark a race war, then it will be a civil war. And they'll just sit back and be like, yeah, let these motherfuckers take each other out. And we'll come clean up afterward. We'll initiate the most extensive gun control regulation that has ever been seen. And boom, they'll be weakened, they'll be crippled, they'll be demoralized, and we can get away with it. They want a race war. But we shouldn't allow that to happen. We need to spread the word that that's what they want. And we need to let them know that we know why they want that race war. We can't make this shit easy for them. And, you know, people like me, you know, I'm putting myself out there. I'm putting myself out there on the radar. You know what I'm saying? I was already on that radar because I'm a veteran, you know? So, but I don't give a shit. I don't care. Come on, baby, let's go. I don't care. You know? I knew what I was doing when I started speaking out on YouTube. I knew what I was doing when I was like, I made a decision. I came to a crossroads. I said, should I shut my channel down before I get 1,000 subscribers and stay low and stay under the radar? And I was like, you know what? There's not enough people putting themselves out there to help motivate people to fight for freedom. There's just not enough of us. So I had to throw my hat in the ring and put myself out there with a family of 7. I'm putting myself out there. You understand? So that when they pass these laws, when they pass the TAPS Act, when they pass HR 1154, you know, don't think they won't be retroactive with their pre-crime bills. So these are pre-crime bills that they're implementing. So don't think they won't be retroactive. Don't think they won't go back and look at my Facebook. Because look, y'all, I was talking this shit long before I got on YouTube. I was on Facebook talking this shit, spreading the message of freedom, spreading what they would say is conspiracy theories and anti-government rhetoric. I've been doing that since 2010 on Facebook. I've been in the freedom movement since 2005 when I got out the Army. I was just more low-key with it. We didn't have social media like that. You understand? So I've been on this shit. I've been in a group that was infiltrated by COINTELPRO. So, and, you know, to me, that was wasted energy and resources by the government because wasn't nobody in that group really about it. There were maybe 3 or 4 of us that were really ready to ride. But the rest, they wasn't about that life. They just wanted to spit poetry and all that other shit and talk that shit. But when the real opportunities came to act on that shit talking, only a few of us ever really did something. That was back in 2005. I've been talking this shit. So, because I was part of that group that was infiltrated by COINTELPRO, you know, I'm already on a list. It just so happens the group I was with, they were weak. The so-called leader was just interested in attracting women. You know, it was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. So, but I actually left the group before the infiltrator started doing shit. So the infiltrator caused a lot of problems in that group, all right? And ultimately got it essentially disbanded. He started a lot of shit. He did a lot of shit to cause problems, including sexually assault 2 of the women in the group. And then he disappeared. He had a wife. Oh, he played the role real nice. Let's go to the top. He played that role real good. And, you know, allegedly sexually assaulted 2 of the women in the group, and he disappeared. By the time I came back around and started catching up with people, he was gone. These problems started after I left. I think he probably knew I would sniff his ass out if he did too much. Cause I would have. I already looked at him kind of weird. He went by the name Shaka, right? He went by the name Shaka. And he wasn't part of the group, right? But he wasn't originally part of the group, and neither was I. I came in a little bit later after they got the shit started, and it was a group of poets. It was a group of spoken word artists that, you know, they spit that fire. They were excellent. And when I went to see them speak at a spoken word event, oh man, I was moved. It spoke to my heart and my mind because of what I experienced when I was in the Army, when I started to see certain things. So I was, oh yeah, the homie introduced me to the group, and I fell in with them. You know what I'm saying? We started doing shit. And, you know, I was really enjoying it. But things started happening, right? Like Devin Brown. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Devin Brown. Devin Brown, back in like 2005, was gunned down by the police, right? He was shot 34 times. He was a 13-year-old kid who took his grandmother's car for a joyride. Grandmother didn't know that he took the car, called the police. So the police pull up on him, run him off the road, make him crash, and then proceed to shoot 34 times into the vehicle, killing that little boy. Come on, baby. So that was our real test. Let's go, one more. That was our real test. And when it came time to act on that, only a few of us put in the work. And that's when I started to see, oh yeah, these cats are full of shit. And then when Hispanic gang members were going around shooting and killing black kids and having riots at schools, we got called to action to put a stop to that too. So that was the year where everybody was wearing white t-shirts, and you know, in LA, everybody in LA was wearing big white t-shirts, big Pro Club t-shirts. They were wearing Pro Club t-shirts, and you know what I'm saying, and there was a letter that went around talking about Hispanic gangs were going to shoot every black person wearing a white t-shirt. So, you know, black folks is, we was like, okay. So everybody started wearing white t-shirts. But anyway, when it came time to act on that, and we got asked to come to certain schools to make sure, to try to keep the peace and make sure that these attacks weren't being started, only a few of us showed up. And I knew that they was full of shit. But that was around the same time that COINTELPRO infiltrator came around. And, you know, he was a slick talker. You know what I'm saying? He actually kind of co-opted the leadership of our group. And I was like, how y'all just gonna let this dude come up in here? And he didn't do shit either. He never showed up for the real work, right? So I was like, man, this some bullshit. I said, these cats ain't really talking about nothing, and they ain't about to get caught up in their bullshit. I sensed something was wrong with that dude. And then this asshole invites we have an issue with police brutality, and this cat brings him and Tony Muhammad. I don't know if y'all are familiar with who Tony Muhammad is. Tony Muhammad is a Nation of Islam cat. All right, Nation of Islam cat. And I don't know if y'all know how I feel about the Nation of Islam, but that's another story. But him and Tony Muhammad brings a police officer to the meeting, and this cop starts copping pleas for police brutality. I'm like, wait a minute, why are you here? I said, are you here to whistle blow? Are you here to tell us you're gonna help us bring down and stop police brutality and bring down the corruption? No, he was there to cop pleas. Oh, you know, this, that, and the third, and oh, we need the community to blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, I'm getting out of here. They bringing cops now? No. The motherfucker brought a cop to the meeting. Who, it wasn't like a cop who was trying to do something for the community. No, he wanted to pacify us. He wanted to pacify us. Fuck that. I don't need no pacifier. Anyway. That's what happened with that. Anyway. Told him already, but I ain't gay. I know my sexuality, but I can compliment. Can't let my girl see this channel though. What? What y'all talking about? My game. No, I think damn great show. While they sit in the sky towers in Seattle, like Seattle, and watch underlings attack. Yeah. Marcy T, what's going on here? How can they do it? They own. We need to take back what's ours. Exactly. This is our land. You, not yours. Exactly. I love Snapchat. Yeah, me too. You're so handsome, Snap, too. I'm green. It's okay. It's all good. Thank you, Marcy T. Yeah, dude was a pervert. I think that's what you're talking about, right, Marcy T, the guy? Yeah, YouTube agents are coming down hard on black Hebrew Israelites. Oh, yeah, they making black Hebrew Israelites look bad. Talking about they running up and stabbing people. Yeah, they making black Israelites look bad. Determination is my faith. What if it was a white tee showed off PF my muscles? Would they shoot? Well, it was the baggy shoot. It had to be we were wearing oversized, and I participated in this trend with the white t-shirt. It was a pro club, and it was like oversized and all that. That's what black men were wearing in Cali or in LA at the time. A lot of people were doing that. That was a trend. Thank you, Modesty. I appreciate the compliment. Galatians. So did he, but he not gay. That's funny. Okay, sup, survivors, sup, oh, hey, Deuce. Galatians 2:4 KJV. And that because the false brethren, unawares brought in, who came in privily to spy out our liberty, which we have in Jesus Christ, that they might bring us into bondage. Exactly. Come on, baby. We're gonna go this way. That's what COINTELPRO is all about. That's what the infiltrators try to do. These agents. That's what they try to do. little faster, baby. Come on, put some pep in your step. Gang, gang. Yeah, it wasn't really even a gang thing with the white t-shirt. It was just something that people thought were cool. So it was like pro club t-shirts with the new era ball caps, the fitted hats. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and the Air Force Ones and all that shit, all that, you know, silly trends that black folks come out with. Some of them not so silly, some of them pretty dope. But you know, black folks are trendsetters. Still white t-shirt in mine, snug. Yeah. Now it's the skinny jeans and the tight shirts. Excuse me. Skinny jeans and tight shirts now. So it looks like they're changing the close contact guidelines for Tecate 19. I think it's they're shortening the length of time that you should be in contact with someone within 6 feet. I think it was 15 minutes before. But look, so about this AstraZeneca death. So it turns out, and you know what's interesting, that the trial members, the people that participate in the trial, come on, baby, pick it up. The people that participate in the trial are from all over the world. Like there's some in Africa, some in Brazil. As a matter of fact, the person who died that was part of the AstraZeneca trials was, he was in Brazil. He was from Brazil. Yeah, the members only jacket. So here, this way. So apparently, now, come on, girl, come on, pick it up. The sooner you get done, the better. Stop acting like that. You've been acting sluggish since the beginning. So, yeah, what happened? Oh yeah, so the trial participant that died, that was part of the AstraZeneca trials, they're saying he was never given the vaccine. That's what they're saying. But what stage of the trial was he in before he died? What have they given to him? Did they give him anything? How are you a trial participant if you don't get anything done to you? So it's just something that I question, right? This dude died, but they said it wasn't, the AstraZeneca trials had nothing to do with the death. So they're gonna keep the trials going, all right? But they don't explain how he died, when he died, what stage of the trial he was in, what, if anything, they were doing to him at the time of death. See, it's just like the airplane fiasco, where the lady died in the airplane. It's just shit that's real fishy to me, real funny, you know? It's just weird. Like this, he participated in the trial, and they're on like stage 3, right? He died after stage 2. So what happens in those first 2 stages? Like what? Come on. Is it that he was about to get something done to, what happened? So, yeah, he died, but they're saying he was not given the vaccine. They're saying that he wasn't given anything. That faster, baby, faster. Come on, pick it up. They're saying AstraZeneca can continue their trials because they weren't responsible for this guy's death. Do y'all trust that? Come on, pick it up. Pick it up. Come on, you're going downhill. Pick it up. It's way too lazy. These kids, man. Kids of this generation is way too lazy, tired. I don't believe him. I don't believe anything they tell me. You know? How convenient that this dude died, but was never given a crack scene. Come on, go, go, go. And how convenient was it for them to how they attributed that to Tecate 19, even though it wasn't reported until October. So she died in July. She was never tested prior to that. They never mentioned that they tested her afterward. You know, that just goes to show how they come up with these numbers. They come up with the numbers by blind diagnosis without even, see, many people are getting diagnosed without getting tested, especially in the beginning. Oh, you have shortness of breath? Oh, you can't taste nothing? Automatic Tecate before testing. You know, people are in the hospital going on live talking about, yo, I was diagnosed with Tecate and I was never given a test. It's just weird. Come on, little girl. Let me tell y'all, if y'all have children, get them out and get them exercising, because some shit go down, you want them to be able to move. You know what I'm saying? You want them to be able to act. And this is partly my failing, because I've been so caught up doing this damn electrical work at this woman's house and other things. You know what I'm saying? Now that I'm done with that, oh, it's on and popping. Because I did have them out here with me while I was working. Not necessarily the stairs, but at different places. At the park, at Kenneth Hahn, walking up hills. Had them exercising every day. Oh man, I slacked off. And I'm glad I brought her today, because now I can see she's my most fit child. She's my most energetic and athletic child. And if she's woe out after the first lap, then I know that all my children, I need to get them back on it. And even though she was acting tired on the first lap, she's acting just as equally tired, not more tired than the first lap, just as tired now that we're on the sixth lap. Computer Wiz, what's up, man? Yeah. So yeah, YouTube didn't do nothing with my life. That was my wife. My wife called and interrupted the stream, so. What channel are you talking about, Computer Wiz? Yep. So I'm just about done. Just Done with my ruck. I'm gonna get this child home and finish my workout at the house. Lisa Cabrera, I'm gonna check her out. Yeah. Yep, rucking. Just got through, man. But just in case, you know, a couple days ago, Nigerian security forces killed 11 protesters, 11 peaceful, unarmed protesters that were holding Nigerian flags and singing songs. They just indiscriminately just started shooting in the crowd. Shot like over a dozen people, shot a few dozen people and killed like a dozen, as we know of right now. It might be more later on, but yeah. And I was just talking about how in Nigeria, they don't have the right to keep and bear arms. And that's why their government can do things like that and get away with it. You know what I mean? So, oh yeah, no doubt. But yeah, they slaughtered them. And I was talking about how important it is that we maintain our rights to keep and bear arms, because that's the only thing that's keeping them from slaughtering us like that. Anyway, I'm gonna get off this live. I'll catch y'all a little bit later. And yeah, we'll keep it going, you guys. Go out there and train. Get your kids trained up. Yeah, and they'll be better off. You'll be better off. And let's start putting our government in check, like we're supposed to. All right. Anyway, much love. Like, share, subscribe, and yeah, be safe.